Day in our meditation. We're going to be really kind of bringing everything together today so that we can enter into Shabbat with a feeling of wholeness and a feeling of joy. And we can continue our exploration through the month of Elul. And this week, Ki Tetzei. We've talked about three different things. The first thing we talked about on the first day was having some sort of ethical behavior in everything that we do, even when no one's looking. The second day, we talked about our relationships and the important relationships we've had in our lives over this past year and how we have been in those relationships. And then the third day, we looked at vows and whether we've taken vows or made promises and whether we've been able to keep those or not keep them. I think what we can look at today is how have you fared this year? Once we've looked at the way we've acted when no one's around, the way we've acted when the people we're closest to are around, and the way we've acted when we've promised something to ourselves can tell us a lot about what kind of year we've had. Whether our relationships have been positive or negative, whether we've lied to ourselves, or whether we have just kind of walked around with blinders on, not really thinking about what behaviors we've done and whether they're positive or they're negative. So I think at the end of this week, when we think about Shabbat coming up, I think on Thursday is this general understanding of where am I right now? Half of this past year has been in the pandemic. Sometimes it's hard to remember even what life was like before the pandemic. But we did have a robust life out in the world during that time. And now we're starting to get out there a little bit more, although I still feel like every day is, a sick day at home, pretty much. How have I fared this year in terms of my teshuvah, my returning to who I am, my core self? How judgmental have I been about myself? And where do I sit in terms of my relationships, my actions, and the things I've promised myself? I've said many times before, you can't lie to yourself when you look in the mirror. Once you start reflecting on your year, unless you're making excuses for yourself, you're going to find something that you did that didn't live up to your core, that didn't live up to really who you see yourself as, what kind of person you see yourself as. And so Thursday is a reflection, is kind of a whole reflection. It's going to be wonderful too, because Thursday is going to be the day before Rosh Hashanah, so we'll be able to have a wonderful, right before the new year begins, look at our lives through our own lens. And that's the important part here. Nobody can tell you what you've been like. Nobody can tell you how you've acted because they don't know how you want to be. Nobody else knows who your core is. I might add, sometimes we don't even know. And I think that's what this exercise is for. This exercise meaning cheshbon hanefesh, to account for our souls, and the High Holy Days is an opportunity for us to honestly look at our actions. Get into a position that is comfortable yet strong, and we're just going to breathe normal. We're not fixing anything. We're not pushing our breath. We're just observing what our breath is like and what our body feels like. Are you feel any tension anywhere? And remember, we're just allowing things to be just as they are for now. We can get into fix-it mode in 23 minutes. But for now, let's keep ourselves thinking about just our breath, the way things are for now, allowing that to happen, observing, noticing, and bringing ourselves into the end of the week in a beautiful way. And remember, our thoughts will take us away. That's part of this. And the muscle, the practice, is taking us from our thoughts back into our heart, taking us from our thoughts back into our breath, taking us from our thoughts back into being a part of nature, a non-judgmental, kind of blank place where we can just exist for a moment so that we can come back into the world refreshed and renewed. Just a little reminder that if you have thoughts coming into your head, there's no need to judge that. Doesn't mean you're doing a poor job of your meditating. Let's just remember to bring ourselves back in loving kindness to our breath once again. For the remaining minutes that we have together, let us turn to asking for feelings. I invite you to say to yourself on each breath, may I feel joy. Or you might say, may I feel joyous. May I feel whole, or may I feel wholeness. May I feel joy and wholeness. The kind of joy that wells up from your heart. Joy is in gladness. Joy is in a heart feeling so whole that it exudes joyfulness. May I feel joyful. It's very hard nowadays. May I feel whole. May I feel as if all the parts of my life come together. May I feel joyous. May I feel whole. Say that to yourself on each breath. You can say it out loud, you can say it in your mind. Sometimes it helps to mouth it or say it out loud. May I feel joyous. May I feel whole. May I feel joyous. May I feel whole. That word, wholeness, in Hebrew, is the same root that's used for the word peace. So one might say we're asking for joy and peace, wholeness and peace. May I feel whole. May I feel wholeness. May I feel joy. Allow that for several breaths as they come out. I invite you to ask for feelings of joy and wholeness. May I feel joy. May I feel wholeness. If you'd like to invite someone to be with you so that you can offer them, I invite you to invite them. May you feel joy. May you feel joyous. May you feel whole and wholeness. May you feel joy. May you feel wholeness. And we offer that to someone for just a couple of breaths. And then let's pull it back to ourselves. May I feel joy. May I feel wholeness. May I feel joy and wholeness, joyful and whole. And for the remaining minute or so that we have together, let us just go back to our breath, feeling that joy, feeling that wholeness as we center ourselves. We join nature as a living, breathing being. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have a beautiful weekend and a peaceful Shabbat. May you feel joyous and may you feel whole. Have a wonderful evening.